Hi there, my name is James Davis from Upad, and today I'm joined by David Cox from ARLA Property Mark. David, good day to you, sir.
Good afternoon.
David, there's the tenant fee ban that is coming in. There's obviously a huge amount of noise in trade press in particular. What is your thoughts on this ban as and when it comes into play?
And this is a popular stunt and a populist move by the government to try and win votes from young tenants. It has very little evidence for it. It is just a populist policy. And we actually think it is going to end up making tenants worse off rather than better off as a result, because these fees do represent legitimate costs to business, and therefore they're going to need to be recouped one way or another. It probably means that agents are going to have to start putting up their fees to landlords in order to cover the costs. We've done some research with a leading market research agency over the last few months that seems to indicate that landlords are likely to see their costs across England go up by about £300 million a year. And excuse me, tenants are going to see their rents increase by about £103 on average a year. So it's kind of an over-under, actually, that at 2.5 years, if you've been in the property for less than 2.5 years, you're probably making a saving as a tenant. But we're in an era where the government is saying we want longer-term tenancies, and therefore, if you've been in the property for more than 2.5 years, you're actually going to end up paying more than you would.
I almost see where you're coming from, because I think when agents couldn't charge tenants fees in Scotland, the following year in Edinburgh, for example, we noticed that rents went up by about 9%, yet the UK average was about 3%. So those fees still were charged, but just differently. And I do sort of wonder whether there is logic behind the fact that there are far more tenants out there from a political perspective than landlords. And therefore, from a vote-winning perspective, maybe you go with the bigger group to try and win votes. Maybe that's actually the rationale why this has all come about.
Absolutely. And to a certain extent, I question how much the government cares that rent's going to go up as a result. Shelter has certainly come out and said we don't mind if tenants pay a little bit extra. It's less that they have to find up front. But I don't necessarily subscribe to that argument. What I would say, at the moment, they have to find first month's rent, deposit, and the fees. Yeah. All they're going to end up doing is paying the same amount. It's just going to be split from 3 ways to 2 ways. But they'll probably end up paying the same up front in any event.
Very interesting. David, I think we could probably talk about this for a few more hours.
Hours.
Maybe we shouldn't on this particular one. David, thank you very much for joining me. This has been David Cox, Chief Exec of ARLA Property Mark. My name is James Davis from Upad. Thank you very much indeed for watching.